The following sequence is a selection of 53 video clips showing the South Tower receiving its damage. The first 30 are from the NIST video. I've speeded up the sequence to show them all within 1 minute. When studying these video clips, at first sight, some of the clips do not seem to match. Compare this clip, for example, where an object is seen coming down almost vertically, with this one, where the object is seen coming in horizontally. These apparent visual inconsistencies have led some to conclude that images of planes were inserted using computer graphics after the event. In order to analyze the videos and determine if they all do in fact match the official flight path, it was necessary to build a three-dimensional computer model of the area constructed perfectly to scale, and then overlay the various pieces of footage and see if they all match the official flight path. The model has been constructed perfectly to scale. I also included a large aerial photograph of the land, ensuring that the image was resized such that the scale on the ground was identical to the vertical scale used to measure the buildings. I added a few more landmarks, the Statue of Liberty and the Empire State Building. I now had a basic 3D model into which I could insert three-dimensional flight paths. I will start by describing Flight 175, the second of the alleged planes. An official report produced by the National Transport Safety Board entitled Radar Data Impact Speed Study by Daniel R. Boer, Ph.D., describes the flight path of the alleged Flight 175. The document does not contain ground position or altitude data in tabular form. Instead, it provides a map with yellow squares indicating the ground positions of radar returns. It also includes what look like hand-drawn graphs of altitude, ground speed, Mach number and magnetic heading. The first task was to transpose the data from the map onto the ground map in the 3D model. This was simply a case of resizing the map so it was exactly the same scale as the map in the model. I then carefully overlaid the ground radar map onto the model. For each of these yellow squares, an associated altitude could be determined from the altitude graph. These were then plotted in the model. I joined up the points and now had a red line representing the alleged flight path of Flight 175. I also downloaded a second set of official radar data. This data was downloaded from the internet in the form of an image file. The file contained software from the RADES System 3 US military radar software. It contained in table form the military radar data of both Flight 11 and Flight 175. This time, the data was much more accurate than in the civilian radar report. The data, given in a spreadsheet, had GPS coordinates for ground radar returns and corresponding altitude values given in feet. The military system produces radar returns less frequently than the civilian radar, about one radar return every 12 seconds. Therefore, there were fewer points to plot in the model. I plotted the ground positions and the altitudes in the same way I had produced the first flight path. Immediately, I realized there was a major discrepancy with the two paths. the military radar was suggesting an object travelled about 1,400 feet to the right of the official civilian radar. In fact, looking at the points on the military flight path, it looked as though the object would have flown past the towers, missing them by well over 1,000 feet. Curious of this, I decided to plot the military data for Flight 11, and incredibly, there was a very similar discrepancy. The object's path seems to be about 2,000 feet to the side of the towers. This anomaly is extremely interesting, and I will come back to it. I left both flight paths in the model and drew a line from the last military radar return to the alleged impact point on the tower to complete the military radar path. The next part of the exercise was to compare these two paths with all known video footage. Out of the 50-odd video clips, some were unsuitable due to either bad camera shaking or the objects not being in the shot for long enough. This left 26 video clips I could use to compare with the 3D model. I put the clips in order so that each angle viewed progresses clockwise around the towers. In the following sequence, the official radar path is shown in red and the military path in purple.
Available right now. Here's the plate. Here is the tape. You see the plane coming in from what looks like the
a plane. Yeah, we see it right now. We see a plane right now coming in.
As you have seen, I was able to show the official flight path in Daniel R. Bower's report does match the video clips recorded on 9/11. The military radar data, however, records an object which is nowhere near the flight path described in the official Daniel R. Bower report. I concluded from this analysis the video images were not the result of computer graphic forgery. There are just too many camera angles to have gone round and collected all of the amateur clips without one of them falling through the net. In a study by Andrew Johnson of eyewitnesses near the World Trade Center, only 21 people reported seeing a plane. Of these, about half did not hear a plane. Having established that an image which looked like a plane was probably seen in the sky, let's just look at some additional facts. Here is Dr. Judy Wood, former professor of engineering mechanics, explaining her reaction to seeing the damage to the towers on television.
Well, on airplanes, the wingtip isn't even strong enough to hold fuel in it. The fuel is held further closer to the body.
Right.
What got to me was that upper wingtip slot. There was a 5-inch deep slot cut into the building. This can hold the lights on the end, but it can't slice a steel column.
Right. So the end sections of the wings would not penetrate
Right,
box section steel girders, basically.
Matter of fact, if you've been on a plane, you look out the window and read on the wing. It says no step, no step here, because the wing is delicate in places.